Happy Sunday! Yay! I hope you guys are having a lovely Sunday. Looks like we have some homies in already. Susie, Lisa, what's up? All right, you guys. So, those who are going to watch the replay or just popping in for the very first time, if you don't know who I am Tara with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. You can learn a little bit more about me by clicking on the links down below. You can check out my website, kittensweightsandtarot.com. There I have an About Me section. I also have all of my readings and lots of other goodies, so definitely go check it out or check out my Patreon, all that good stuff. All right, so first and foremost, before we get started, I want to thank all of my YouTube members and my patrons for being your amazing supportive selves. Also, to all of my subscribers, thank you so much for your support so that I can be out here doing what I do with you guys. And actually, I'm not the only one out here. There's apparently a Juniper Titmouse who is also out here. Hey, dude. All right. So, anyway, let me know, what do you guys got cooked up for today? What do you have going on this week? Hey, Michelle, how are you? Susie, thank you. Oh, you know what, Susie? I had an interesting dream last night. You and your brother were in my dream last night. Your brother was like still active, like in the military. And I don't know, you guys were like much younger in my dream. Like you guys were in your like 20s or 30s or something. It was interesting. It was just very interesting. I don't really remember now. The dream has kind of faded, but I just remember you guys were in my dream. So, so wow, cool. So yeah, it was all positive things. It was. I remember it being a good dream. So hey, and Sunny, hey, how are you? She says hello, sweet friend. Butterfly love child, what's up? So good to see you guys. All right, so we have some fun stuff cooked up for today, as we always do. I put out a poll this past Sunday for my Patreon peeps, my YouTube homies, my member homies, and also the subscribers on my public page. And I had 4 things that you guys could vote on as the things that you wanted to do during today's live chat. So, although, yes, we will still be slanging cards for the weekly reading and also doing the 1 card donation readings at the end of this live chat, as well as our healing that we normally do. But for the majority of the chat, we're going to be doing psychic ability practice. Yes. And really, what it is just having us get into a comfortable place where we're constantly practicing, tapping into our intuition, tapping into our higher self, feeling that connection to a degree where we can always just tap into it whenever and wherever we need it. Whether you are in line at the grocery store and you're like, bam, got to tap in right now, you can just do it. And so, the more we practice that, the easier it gets. So we're gonna do a little practice session today. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, let me see here. Oh, everybody's saying hello, skis. Lisa saying hello to the chat. All right, so let's get a drink of water and hey, let's start off with the weekly reading. Star Round, how are you? I have something else to announce too, just before we get started on this weekly reading. You guys also had another poll for the next channeling. So I put 4 different people on that poll. I think eventually we'll end up channeling all those people on the poll, but this was the next person that you wanted us to channel. And so Michael Jackson won. But since tomorrow is the anniversary of September 11th and Twin Towers and all of that, and I know that there's so much emotions that go along with that. So James and I have done a channeling of the um, the energy surrounding September 11th back in 2001, back when I was in college. So that video is actually going to take precedence. So that video is coming out tomorrow on September 11th. And then the following Monday, that will be your Michael Jackson channeling that you guys all voted on. And a lot of people just wanted me to eventually get to a channeling to the other 3 people that were on the list. It was Tupac Shakur, Kobe Bryant, Paul Walker. So we'll eventually do channelings of them as well. But yeah, Michael Jackson is next on the docket. So tomorrow will be a September 11th video, and then next Monday, Michael Jackson. All right. KDS worker said I provided 8 weeks of counseling at Ground Zero. Wow. Yeah, that was, I think everybody has something to say, about that day, especially all of us that are old enough, to remember. I know there was a lot of kids that were born, around that time, so they don't really remember what was happening. But yeah, I think everybody has a very like different perspectives. Some people were actually there. Some people had people that they knew that were there. Some people were the counselors like yourself. Some people were the EMS. Some people were police officers, firefighters. Um, just the people of New York. There was a lot of people affected around the world as well. There were people from other countries that were also in New York at the time, or they had loved ones that were in New York at the time. Um, I know that for myself, my roommate that I had in college at the time, her father worked in the North Tower. It was like floor 70 something floor. I forget what floor now, but I remember her being very worried, and all the emotion. I remember not knowing what the heck was going on because I was trying to rush to my very first class. And I remember she had her television sitting inside the closet because our dorms were so small, that she had the TV in the closet. And she was like, Tara, take a look at this. And I remember looking on the television, and all I saw was a building fall. Um, and I was like, and my brain was so scattered. I was just thinking about, oh, I got to get to class on time. And so I was like, oh, wow, what country is that? I remember I literally said that. What country is that happening in? And she's like, Tara, that's New York. This is the United States. That's happening right now. And I was like now, now? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, uh, whoa, oh, and then I like looked at my watch and was like, oh crap, I got to get to class. So I was running off to class. And I remember I was there at the first class, and there was only like 6 people in class. And the professor had said, if you need to leave, I understand. And then there was some woman who came in, and I remember they were like whispering to each other, like the professor and this woman, she was crying. Um, and then somebody leaned over to me and said, oh, her husband is in New York. And I was like, what is going on? I mean, I'm like, I'm a stupid little 19-year-old or 20-year-old. I didn't know what the heck was going on. Um, and so I remember leaving class because I was going to go on to my next class, but we had a bomb threat at our school, at the college. And so they were evacuating all 30,000 students from my university. And it was just the creepiest thing because um, everybody is walking away from the college. There's 30,000 people walking away from the college in line in their cars. Every car's radio station is tuned to, seems like, the same radio station where they're all talking about the Twin Towers, and they're all talking about New York. And it's like all variations of like Howard Stern and like all this stuff. And a couple of people freaked out, and they got out of line in their cars. They drove over the lawns, and like they were like, we're all going to die or something. And then that evening, because I lived in an international dorm, I remember the air raid sirens, because I lived in Long Beach next to we have the World Trade Center of Long Beach as well. They thought the World Trade Center in Long Beach was going to be attacked. So they put the air raid sirens in Long Beach, and every citizen in Long Beach was freaked the hell out because we thought we were going to be bombed to death. And I remember, I don't think I ever felt so unsafe in my own country. I was like, what is happening? I didn't know. And it's all of these feelings and all of these memories that we all have, which is why we wanted to do a channeling video. Like perhaps this could help to add some more information. Perhaps this could help us add closure, to all of these things. Perhaps it could help to raise our spirits, not just of the American people, but of humanity as a whole. So that's why we chose to do that channeling video. And so I think you guys are going to definitely have a lot of food for thought. I have to rewatch it actually. I'm still editing it, but I have to rewatch it because it was a lot. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. That'll come out tomorrow. So All right. Let me go back here. I missed some of your comments here. Um, KDS worker said I spent 2 weeks at flight 93D. Okay, looks like we're back. Sorry, a little malfunction there. Susan said that makes sense now, Tara. Your dream Tommy got deployed to Dover mortuary affairs. Oh, wow. Interesting. So him and his military outfit. Yeah, he was in full military outfit. I remember that in my dream. And I was like, whoa. KDS worker said cognitive dissonance. Interesting. And Lisa said, I came back from lunch into the office that day and every computer had it on the news. I was absolutely shocked. KDS worker also had Stern on. Janine, hello, hello, how are you? Um, KDS worker says, love, I welcome the opportunity to join you. Awesome. Kayla, how are you? I'm so happy to have all of you guys here. Love each and every one of you. Susan said she's definitely going to watch. All right. So yeah, definitely comments. We always welcome your comments on those videos. I think that there's some lovely discussions that happen on there. So if you want to start a discussion thread, you have some, genuine questions or things like you don't understand or something that you loved or upset you, whatever it may be, we want to have a talk. We're not saying that we know everything or even that the entities that we're channeling know everything, because everything has its own agenda, everything is in its own polarity. Yeah, we want to hear from you guys. So, okay. If you guys would like to bust out your decks or your runes or your pendulums or good old fashioned intuition, let's go ahead and sling some cards for our weekly reading. So, from today all the way till Saturday of the upcoming week. And for that, actually, I don't know if you guys know who Cosmic Creeper is over on Instagram, but she was using 2 decks in tandem for one of her monthly readings. And I was like, oh my gosh, those decks work really well together. And I happen to have those 2 decks. They feel very autumn and fall to me. So I'm going to be busting out the Hush Tarot and the Memento Mori. I think that these are 2 very interesting decks. So I'm going to use these for our weekly reading. Let me know what you guys are working with. Susie said, Cosmic Creeper from Wally's World. Yes, exactly. So my Wally's World deck has lots of different photos from different folks in the community and from around the world. And Cosmic Creeper has a few of her photos in that deck. I was very appreciative. And she lives out in the UK. So that's cool. I enjoyed being able to incorporate people from everywhere. Hence, it's Wally's World because it's all over the world. So okay, let's see what we have going on for the upcoming week. It's a little warm here today. I don't know. Let's see if I can. I don't think I can point the camera really for you guys to see, but maybe I can. Let's see if you guys look up there. Oh, it's a chemtraily mess. Actually, today is the most chemtrails we've ever seen in our sky ever. There's hundreds and hundreds of lines and X's above my head. There were some planes doing intermittent spraying where it's like spray, spray, spray. So I don't know what the heck they're doing, but whatever it is, it always messes with my sinuses when that happens. So I think I'm going to put out my pot of boiling vinegar. You can call me a conspiracy theorist. I am no scientist, but it seems to work. I don't know. And thanks, Susie, for the tip. Let's see. KDS Worker says, I don't know how to do tarot. I have clairsentience and claircognizance, and I practice Reiki. Well, hey, bust out that claircognizance and clairsentience, and let's roll. So whatever comes to mind, whatever you're feeling, whatever's coming up for you in whatever fashion that you intuit things, go ahead and post it in the comments. How are you feeling for this upcoming week? Okay, Susie said, oh dear. Okay, so let's see. Let's tap into this week. And like I said before, at the beginning of the chat, I will do the 1-card donation readings, basically the super stickers and the super chats. I'll do those at the end if you want me to pull a card for you personally. So we'll do that at the end of our chat today, just before we do our healing. Susie said, I will be listening to cards being pulled, not feeling like pulling any. Hey, no worries. Lisa said, the most trails here in southeast England, 5 days of crazy heat wave, then torrential rain and flood warnings. Interesting. Yeah, our cousin in Ojai, James's cousin, she said that it's really odd weather right now. She goes, it kind of looks like they're about to get a ton of rain. And I said, yeah, it's like they'll spray. It's like it's gonna rain, but it really doesn't want to rain here. So it's like stopping it. I don't know. I mean, they can try whatever they want in 3D. It's basically our energy and our intention. If we fear what's up in the sky, it'll impact us much more greatly. We can change, we can transmute the energy. You know, let's just not forget our own personal power, our very magical, manifestational, if that's even a word, I can make it up. I was a former English teacher. Our intentional energy. We'll put that out there. That sure, yeah, you can put tic tac toe in the sky, and I'm gonna have a great day, and all the plants here are going to continue to thrive, and all the animals are going to continue to be awesome, the awesome animals that they are, as they have been. um, Susie said, so agree. Janine said, yes, Lisa, I'm in the Northwest. Thought I'd come sit outside and listen to the live, but it feels like it's going to start spitting rain. I better go back inside. Okay. Well, let's hope for a nice cleansing rain. Purifying, cleansing, eye-opening, veil-thinning, beautiful rain. Okay. Now I like putting these two decks in tandem. So it's basically going to, for 3 cards, it's basically going to become 6 cards because I'm going to read the Oracle card with the Tarot card. Okay, let's see what we have here, you guys, for the upcoming week. Today, September 10th, all the way till Saturday of this upcoming week. And we have the Queen of Swords and we have the Harp. So that's our very first couple of cards or pairing of cards. And then we have the Page of Wands and Tasseography, which is reading tea leaves. Oh, I know, right, Susie? The art is freaking amazeballs. Lisa is slinging the botanical wisdom cards today. Love the botanical wisdom. She said, bless you, Jean. I come from Northwest originally. Okay. And our final pairing of cards, we have the 9 of Cups and we have the Cross. Interesting pairing there. Okay, so I don't know if I can hold all of these up at once. So I'm just going to place them on my lap where I can see them clearly. Okay. Okay. Let's tap into this. Ooh. Okay. So it's more of advice for getting through this week. There might be a tendency to go into ego spiral this week because the ego relies on its past. It also relies on everything it perceives in 3D. It's a 3D program. That's what our ego is. It's attached to the human being, and it knows how to operate 3D. So when there are things that happen that it doesn't fully understand, it, like a Rolodex, it goes into the files of the past and it tries to make sense of what's happening in the present. If it can't make sense of what's happening in the present, it tends to have a spiral, it tends to freak out, and it's like it gets stuck, like the spinning wheel on a Mac computer, just like spinning, 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 of like, well, what if this? What if this? What if this? And that is a huge expenditure of our energy. I'm not saying that we all need to walk around like, ha, 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 but to understand when our ego is going into a spiral, when we notice that all of our physical energy, our emotional energy, our mental energy is being focused into worry, 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 anxiety. I don't know how to solve this problem. And that doesn't solve the problem any faster, actually. If anybody has heard Baz Luhrmann, or yeah, Baz Luhrmann song. Was it Wear Sunscreen? It's actually based off of something somebody had wrote in a newspaper article, but they were saying that solving a math equation by chewing bubble gum, it's not effective. That's the same thing that we do with worry. When we're worrying about things, we're just going over it over and over again, and all we can come up with is more worry. It's not effective. It's all it does is drain our energy, so that if we do want to practice self-care, we do want to do things for ourselves, we now no longer have energy for that because we've spiraled out of control. So, whatever is going on this week that you feel, that the ego feels, it can't comprehend, it doesn't understand, it wants to freak out, it wants to spiral, that's when we know, oh, hey, holy crap, I need to go inwards right now, because I know exactly from past experience where this is going to take me. If I allow my anxiety to spiral out of control, it's not going to solve my problems any faster. It's just going to drain me. It's going to have me feeling like crap, so that all the people around me are going to feel like poo poo as well. So we go inwards. It's highly important that we go inwards this week when you start to feel that way, even if it's for just a couple of minutes, even if it's for 30 seconds, just breathing, go inwards. Okay, I'm grounding, I'm focusing on my breath. I'm grounding, I'm focusing on my breath. Shields up, grounding, focusing on my breath, shields up. Now I'm connecting. Okay, what can I do about the situation right now? And maybe the answer is nothing. There's nothing you can do at this time. Okay, that's good to know, because otherwise I would have been spiraling out of control with still not being able to solve the situation. But if you give it some time, then the opportunities, the clarity will come to you. We just have to get into a more grounded space. It really is as simple as that. And perhaps the thing that is happening is more for us to learn something about ourselves or learn something about the world. And so we take that into account with gratitude. Thank you for showing me this. Thank you, ego, for letting me know that this thing that's happening is bringing me anxiety. I have to now go inwards and figure out why I have such anxiety around this particular situation. Is it really the current situation, or is it stemming from something from the past? So I would say that we have a great amount of healing that can occur this week, a wonderful opportunity, and we can actually thank our ego for showing us where we're feeling anxious, where we're feeling sad, where we're feeling out of control, so that we can then tap into the higher self and have your soul help you out with that situation. Because the ego's actually yelling, hey, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Please help me. And you're like, I got you, ego. I'm going into the higher self. We're going to fix this. We're going to figure it out together. Technically, all three of us in this body. So, yeah, so that is mostly the advice for this week, is no matter what comes up this week, because it's going to be different for everybody. There's so many people on this planet. Not everybody on the planet watches this YouTube channel, of course. But just, everybody in general, we're all going to have our own personal experiences happening this week. So it's going to show up differently, but the energy might be quite similar. Something is going to trigger the ego. The egos want to go into a spiral, but really that's its call for help. It's saying, help me. I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know how to fix this situation. And that's when you're like, aha, all right. Okay, ego, I hear you. Thank you for showing me. Let's go inwards. So, all right. All right. I can dig that. I can dig that. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's go back here. Do, do, do. Lisa said bark protection. Ooh, yes. Susie said protection. Love that, Lisa. Janine said, oh, Lisa, that's interesting. Me, mainly Preston, but had connections to Blackburn. And Lisa is from Congleton in Cheshire. I briefly lived in Manchester, but moved south when I was about 6 years old. Nice. KDS Worker said, will this video be available for review? Yes, it will. So after this live chat, it takes a little while for YouTube to like render it and do all the things that whatever YouTube does. So you'll still be able to watch the replay, the whole thing. Whenever the internet kind of cuts out, I think YouTube cuts that out, so it goes right to like the next frame. So that's good. The chat though takes about 24 hours for YouTube to transcribe the entire chat. I don't know why it's so slow. I mean, it's just computers. So, so yeah, I would say by tomorrow you'd be able to not only see the video, but you can also see all the comments from everybody in the chat. And I think that's one of the most important things is I think the chat is amazing. So I'm always like, watch the chat, read the chat, because you guys have a lot of good things to say. Um, da, da, da. Lisa then got pine needles, letting go. Susie said, good to know, Tara. Thank you. Edgar said, hey, how are you? It says, hey, everyone. How y'all doing this fine oven of a day? Tiny Witch, how are you? She says, hi, peeps. Excellent. KDS worker said, my ego wants to secure the wording. Yeah, so yeah. Sometimes my wording, it's like, am I even from this planet? Ha, no. Oh my goodness. Janine said, Tarot of the Abyss and Flora Healing Deck, Collective, 9 of Cups, and Ginkgo, Stability, lessons filled with perseverance, composure, and hope. And that's interesting because I also got, let's see, where is it? I also had the 9 of Cups here as well. So very cool. I can dig it. Janine said, when someone tries to take you off course, what tools do you possess that will offer solid footing to avoid a collapse? And Liesl got Fern, Clarity. Oh my gosh, that is beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let's see. Okay, what deck do I want to use with this? Maybe this would be a good deck. Okay, so what I'm looking for right now is just what a psychic ability practice exercise I want to do with you guys, because I have 3 possible things that we could practice with. And what this stems from is I did a playlist series called like, uh, something like psychic ability practice. It's been a while actually, but people seem to enjoy those videos where I would do some sort of activity. People would comment on it. I would do a follow-up video to address everybody's comments and talk about how their comments related to the activity that we were doing, the psychic ability practice activity that we were doing. So we're going to be able to do that today live, where you can get feedback from not only other people in the chat, but from myself as well, so that we can all just get together to practice. And that's all it is. It's just practice. It's practicing tapping in to the essence of ourself, our soul, the spirit that is eternal, that lives on, that is source, that is connected to the collective unconscious or the collective consciousness. Yes, our subconscious, basically. And don't feel pressure to get a right, answer, because everybody looks at things from a different perspective. Like, let's say you had, I don't know, 20 different psychics tapping into the spirit of one person. They all tapped in, but they all saw something different. So it sounds like 20 different, like wildly different accounts of what they're experiencing, but it's still the same energy. They're still experiencing the same energy. It's just everybody has different backgrounds. Everybody has a different lens in which they look through things. So don't feel bad if you're like, oh man, I got the wrong answer. It's not wrong. You're just practicing tapping into your intuition, and your intuition might have been giving you a different point of view or different perspective than other people, or maybe everybody else had a completely different perspective, and that's fine. Nobody is here to say that somebody's intuition is wrong, because I believe that if you're really tapping into your intuition, it's never wrong. That's why I always say, follow your gut, follow what your heart is saying, follow what your intuition is saying, regardless of what other psychics or mediums or whatever people may be saying. They're just tapping into a different angle of it, a different perspective than perhaps you might be tapping into. We all have different gifts. We all have different ways in which we tap into that energy. So please don't feel that you are afraid to get a wrong answer. I believe there are no wrong answers. It's just all perspective. All right. So I have a little something here. We're going to start off with this one thing. Okay. Are you guys ready? So I'm going to have you guys get grounded first. So, however you want to ground. For me, I just kind of visualize roots coming out from my legs and my bum, going down into Mama Gaia. And it's just a connection and remembering that I too am Mama Gaia. I too am Earth. Therefore, I am grounded. I'm grounded because I am part of this earth. And I feel that connection. The next thing I do is I bring down my intuition, which really is just a remembrance of the intuition that's all right here. And I remember that I am source energy. I am the all, and therefore I am connected. And then, I always put up my shields. I always ask my higher self, hey, you put up the shields that you think is best, because I think my higher self would put up way better shields than my ego could ever construct. So, all right, when you guys are nice and grounded, I'll give you guys a moment. I'm gonna have some water here. We're gonna get into the first thing. Let's see here. Oh, KDS Worker says, I keep getting 9 and Tesla. Interesting. And that is interesting that, I had the 9 of cups, Janine had the 9 of cups. So the number 9 coming up a lot. Oh, and yesterday, KDS Worker, yesterday was the 9-9 portal. So perhaps you're still feeling some of that 9 energy, which is very abundant energy. It's a lot of just a lot of everything. And so when you're putting together a Tesla, not Tesla, the vehicle or the company, but oh, hey, bird. But I'm thinking Tesla, the person, um, was talking about energy. And 9 is an abundance of energy. So perhaps tapping into something about energy, infinite energy. Very interesting. Edgar says, working on my art, decided to do some art pieces based on tarot. Right now, it's the 3 of Swords. Ooh. Susie says, I would love to see your art. Do you do Instagram? Oh, yeah, Edgar, please do post it on Instagrams. I want to see. KDS Worker said that bird was my mom. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was so cool. It was like just a lone bird, and a bird that I don't normally see around here. So that's pretty cool. Okay. Exercise number 1 of our psychic ability sesh. I have an object here. This object belonged to somebody that I know. And all I'm asking you guys to do is to tap into it. So whether you feel something, like maybe you feel something physical in your body, go ahead and say it. If you have some pictures that pop up in your mind, go ahead and type that in. Maybe it's something that you start smelling, like maybe you start smelling cigar or perfume or something. Perhaps you start hearing a song, or maybe you hear the whisperings of something. Go ahead and post it in the comments. Maybe you want to pull some cards, and that's how you utilize your intuition. Then go ahead and sling some cards to help you out with that. But however you do it your way. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go. I'm going to leave it up on the screen for about a minute. Okay, so just go ahead and tap into that object. And whenever you feel something, get something, go ahead and put it in the comments. We'll talk about it afterwards.
How have you been doing these knots?
Oh,
'Cause I
just like
can
a triple knot.
triple knot? Oh, because the double knots weren't sticking.
Oh, and then I put a little dab of glue.
Oh, are we whispering?
Oh, they're tapping in. Okay, Susie said the star hope is all I'm getting. Aquarius. Hmm?
You want to show it up?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Janine got parrot. Edgar says, I see a pirate. KDS Worker says, Lahaina will flourish. Susie said, and Tahiti. Lisa is getting coastline, low tide. Okay, I think that's everybody. And if you are somebody who will be watching the replay, please go ahead and still post a comment. You could still comment on these YouTube live chats. So let me know what you got. Let me know what you thought. Let's see. Susie said, and a gnome. Tiny Witch says, an image of it rolling in the earth like a leaf. Think it went on adventure. Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about this one. Edgar says, I get clean slate, a new beginning, new opportunities. Okay. What I think is wonderful is that you guys are all tapping in like what I said, all different perspectives. Like you guys are all tapping into, I believe, the same thing. It's just you guys are all getting like different perspectives from it, which I think is pretty cool because it is a lot of all the things that you guys just said, which I think is neat. Oh, and cookie cutters. Okay. So this, which is made out of mother of pearl, this little piece here, I'm not sure what it was actually attached to or if it was ever attached to anything. It is quite old, actually. I think it's from like the 50s or the 60s. This was my Auntie Caroline, so my father's sister. Um, and it came from her husband when he was deployed. He actually went out to Hawaii, and he brought this back from Hawaii for her. But you guys were also tapping into various aspects of her energy as well as various aspects of this. So it did travel, it did go on an adventure because he went to a lot of different places before he was able to come home to her. Hey, my Uncle Bob. So um, and at the time, she was going through, I would say, kind of a new beginning because she was starting to try to figure out where she was in the world. She had just had, well, as of the 60s, she had just had given birth to my cousin Selena, who's now passed away. But um, she was trying to figure out like herself as a daughter, as a sister, as a mom, as a wife. Like, how do I do this? How do I be a military wife? So there's all of this. There's all the things that are mixed in with Hawaii. So you guys, a lot of you were picking up on, current Hawaii situation as well as the energy that was attached to them in the past, which I thought is was really interesting. And it was during her after she had passed away, when I received this from the family, I received a lot of my Auntie Caroline's things as well as my Nana and stuff like that. So I'm just like, the gatekeeper of all family history. And so in essence, it has been on an adventure. It has traveled and it's gone through not only various different states, but also states of energy as well. So that's so cool that you guys were picking up on that. And Susie, I like that you're picking up on cookie cutters because my aunt, she loved to make things, not necessarily like baking, but she did actually make some ornaments out of cookie cutters once for Christmas. So I thought that was cool. And the things with like gnomes and all the other things that you guys were saying, I would say that that was kind of her energy. She kind of had this like, I don't know, I always thought that my aunt wasn't of this planet, that she was just like a little elemental of some sorts. She was the kindest, nicest person. She never said a cross thing about anyone. If there was a spider, she wouldn't even have the heart to kill it. She would just be like, ah, and she would just like run away in horror, but she wouldn't kill it though. So KDS Worker is asking if I am Italian. Actually, my nana's father was Italian. So yes, there is Italian in the family. Um, and I am a Heinz 57 sauce. So I got the United Nations here, baby. Which also is probably all the energy that's kind of mixed in here as well. And my Auntie Caroline is Filipina. So that's probably also mixed in too. So, all right, very cool. Nice exercise. I like this one. Okay. Let me put this aside here. So if you guys want to go ahead and whew, get yourself regrounded, um, let me go back here. Yeah, I'm just looking back at your comments for that. Yeah, coastline, low tide, Tahiti definitely picked up on the islander vibes. Um, Edgar seeing a pirate and then Janine seeing a parrot. Um, from what I remember, because my uncle Bob and my aunt Caroline had divorced, I think back in the 80s, and well, she's passed on now. My uncle Bob has passed on. My cousin Selena has passed on. There's a lot of people have passed on from that family. I would say a lot of the majority of my family members on my father's side are all in spirit now. Um, but there is a Halloween picture where my uncle Bob, who is the one that bought this for my aunt Caroline, or at least brought it back for her, he was dressed as a pirate with the parrot on the shoulder, which I think that's pretty cool. So you guys are tapping into the various aspects of the people all associated with the item. So very interesting. Yeah, I love that. I love that exercise and the fact that you guys were all using your different senses for it, your different impressions. So you can see that, since we're all different people, we all get different sense impressions of the exact same thing, and that all of your impressions were spot on in a particular different way. You were all you great tapping in a different way, and that's just how our intuition works. Our intuition doesn't look like anybody else's intuition. It's unique because we're unique. So alrighty, excellent job, you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna have a little bit of water here, and I'm going to, let's use the slips of paper. I have some slips of paper. I have my bag of markers here, and what I'm gonna do is write a word on that piece of paper, and then I will present the word to you after I have you guys just tap in. Before you even look at what the word is, I'm gonna have you tap in first, see what impressions you get. Some of you may actually get the word that's on there. You may get everything that's connected to the word or feelings associated with that word, or just different memories of your own past that come to mind surrounding the energy of that word. So, like I said, it's all going to look different for everybody. All of your intuition works differently, but it doesn't mean that it's the wrong thing. It's just tapping in differently. Okay, so let's do this. And these are things that you guys can practice on your own as well. When you're at home, you might grab something from like a friend's house and say, hey, can I borrow this? And maybe you don't know anything about the object and just kind of tap in and, ask your friend, hey, this is the impression I got from this object. What do you think? And I think that would be fun. You can involve your friends, your family members. You can also do this is what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to grab a pen. I have all these little slips of paper, and you can have a friend or family member just write a word on a piece of paper, have them not show it to you, and then be like, okay, this is what I'm getting. And then have your friend or family member reveal the word to you and, go from there. All right. So let's see. KBS Worker says, OMG, I'm Italian, married to Filipino. Hey, dude, mabuhay. Edgar says, a pirate needs a parrot. Of course. Tiny Witch said, wow, thank you, Tara. That was fun to do together. Edgar says, it's a bomb. Sorry, just tapped into Uncle Fester. Oh my goodness. Aurora Star, how are you? She says, Mary, meet everyone. Sorry I'm late. Hey, no worries. Okay, so let's get us a nice pen, perhaps a nice thick pen so it can be seen on screen. Let's use mauve. Ooh, mauve. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get nice and grounded once again, tapped in once again. If you need to grab a drink of water to reground yourself, that's what I do. Or I eat a piece of chocolate if I'm really like, woo. I don't know. I just feel like chocolate brings me back, or maybe it's just an excuse to eat chocolate. I don't know. Okay. All right. So let me meditate on the first word. Let's see what word to give you guys. Okay. I have a word. And that word wanted to fly away. Not today. No, not today. Okay. All right. Aurora said, "Marry meet tiny witch." KDS says, "I love my markers." Okay. So I have a word. I'm going to stare at this word. I'm going to try to pump this word out to you guys. And you put just whatever you guys are getting. Okay. And then when I feel like I have everybody's commented who wants to comment, I'll show you what the word is. Okay. So I'm going to try my hardest to put that intention out there, but you just allow your intuition to pick up on it however it needs to pick up. Okay. Go ahead. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at all your comments. This is amazing. Okay, keep it going. Okay, let's see. Is that everybody? Aurora says none of us are saying the same thing, and that's a good thing actually, because you are. You all tap in differently, so everybody's intuition is going to work differently. You guys are all going to see things from a different perspective. Are you ready? Because I was trying to think of all of the things associated with this word, and I was just trying to like pump it out to you guys, like "Mm, almost like the beats of a techno tune." Okay, so I think some people are still commenting, so I'll let you guys go ahead and continue and take your time. Please don't feel rushed. Oh, what up, Blue Jay? You checking up on me? I love the Blue Jays. Okay, are you guys ready? Here we go. Your word is cat. And it's so interesting, all the things you're saying. So let me go back to your comments actually, and I want to address your comments. Because I mean, obviously I'm kittens, weights, and tarot. That actually came about because I did have my cat Presley. Presley passed away. I got my cat Wally, who Wally's World, my oracle deck is named after. After that, we got Wally's adopted brother, Loki. And then I did have to leave my two boys behind with their dad in San Diego when I moved out here to Arizona. So let's go back to those comments though. I said I wanted to address them. So KDS Worker had said love. Obviously, I have tremendous love surrounding cats and surrounding Wally and Loki, Presley, my kittens. I love them to pieces, whether they're in spirit or here. I love my cats. So there's a tremendous amount of love that's associated with that. Um, Janine had gotten cobwebs and Aurora had gotten Meadow. And Meadow, whenever I think of Presley, who's passed on, I always think of him in this like large meadow that he's just like chasing all the birds and he's chasing all the lizards that he could ever want to his heart's content. Like that's how I imagine him as he has crossed over the Rainbow Bridge. So that's interesting. Um, the cobwebs, though, I do feel that is in connection to having to have left them behind, since I don't have cats here. I mean, I do hear cats here, but that's just because there's a lot of spirit cats that run around this property, which is interesting. We're quite far from civilization, but that's how I was interpreting cobwebs. It's like it's the past. You know, my babies are in my past. Um, let's see. Let's go back to your other comments. Edgar got summer sun, warmth, sunflower is what comes to me. That's definitely what I feel when I feel cat energy. To me, it's the summer, it's sun, a warm kitty cat purring against you. There's no better feeling to me personally. Sunflowers, sunshine, they are my sons. You know, they literally are boys. They were my furry sons, you know. I love them so much. Um, so Susie got lemon. So lemon also connecting to that sunshine energy. Sunny had gotten something colorful, and that to me is also representative of the Rainbow Bridge. And to me, they have the most beautiful auras I have ever seen. But maybe that's just because they were my babies, you know. Susie also seeing that green field. KDS worker getting the vast without boundaries, yeah, limitless. Their energies are limitless. They may have little 3D bodies, but they are limitless. Um, Susie did get cat, which is kind of cool. KDS beyond earthly life. That would also be Presley. Lisa says she was getting Scandinavian wooden house in a nice setting. You know what? I when I think of the meadow, for some reason, I think of little cottages and things like that. So that's interesting. You got that. Um, KDS limits beyond earthly ego limits, definitely. Tiny Witch got glass everlasting or class as in classification. Yes, and they are the classification of kitty cats, a feline, but also all everlasting. So meadows, the sun, yellow. Wow. Kayla says, oh my God, I was going to say an animal. Edgar says the cat better be yellow. Well, they're my sons. They are my babies. They are the sunshine to me. You are the sunshine of my life. um, so definitely love those comments. Janine said, could be black cat, witch's companion, cobwebs. Well, Loki is a black cat. He is a big panther. Very cool. Very cool. I love this. This was awesome. Let's let's do another because that I think you guys that's amazing. I love just seeing how your intuition, like all of your different intuitions work. Like that was so cool. Oh, hey, hummingbird. Hummingbirds have been so nosy lately. Okay, so put that there. Okay, let's think of a new word. All right. Susie said, and Tara, you decorated for them at Samhain and cobwebs and stuff. I certainly did. Yes. Oh, hello. Got butterflies coming around here. Lots of flying animals. Tiny Witch said, interesting that doing this exercise came from a different place. I should practice more. I saw you in a house, but was waiting for a word. And Aurora says, can I try to send a word to you guys after this? Well, that would be cool. Definitely. It'd be fun. Another practice. Okay, so let's do another word. Okay. Give me a moment to I want to try to think of simple words, just try to keep it simple for our intuition. Let's see here. I got a word. Yeah. Okay. I got a word for you guys. Okay, I'm gonna put these here. Okay, are you ready? I have my word. I'm gonna try to pump it out. All right. So when you're ready, go ahead and comment. I'll continue trying to push this word to you guys. starting to come in with their words and impressions. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is so cool. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to comment. This is so cool. Okay. All right. So while the last people are commenting your impressions, there is one other thing that came to mind with the last word that we did when you guys kept coming up with the yellow. And I was saying that, yeah, my boys are my son, they're yellow. Um, but I almost forgot Loki's crazy yellow eyes. He had the most yellow eyes I've ever seen on any animal. Like it was insane. And I'm like, how do I forget Loki's eyes? Like, oh my goodness. So there you go. That was the yellow. That's so cool. I miss both of them very much. Okay. All right. So are you guys ready? Because I can't, I'm going to comment on each of your comments because they all connect in a very different way. And I think that's so cool. And it's what I'm staring at right now. This is where I got the word from. My Jeep, Ketsadora, my baby, my other baby, my machine baby, Ketsi. And what's interesting is I keep a bumblebee, which is a winged animal. A little glass bumblebee hangs from my windshield, or I mean not my windshield, but my rearview mirror next to my windshield. And that came from Viper Bee, which was my old car, which I traded in for this one. And I needed the Jeep, otherwise I wouldn't be able to get to the property here. And to me, the Jeep has always been like super free. Like I can literally drive over anything, like rocks, hills. I want to go through a meadow. I could go through there. I've gone through slippery, slidey ice and mud. I've had this thing spin 180 degrees down an icy road. I've gone sideways up a hill trying to drive through snow. I've gone and spun around in the mud. Like it's been the most freeing, fun thing. Like it doesn't act like a normal car. Like a normal car, we just drive straight on the roads. Oh, hello, dude. And we're confined within the lines. This there's no lines, there's no road. I go where I want to because I feel like it. And as we have Mr. Blue Jay over here squawking away, it is quite like freedom. It's like flying to me. I literally feel like I'm flying in this Jeep. Like nothing holds me back. Yeah, hey dude, I'm talking about you. Yeah, I'm talking about you. You guys are cool. Okay, so let's look at your comments here. Um, the birds are back in town. Let's see. Okay, so KDS worker had gotten freedom. I would say that's definitely a word that I associate with this Jeep. Susie had gotten cloud, which is interesting because there is a chemtrails full of clouds above my Jeep right now. But also, I feel like I'm on cloud nine when I'm I'm in the Jeep. Edgar said airplane, flight, feathers. The birds love to land on my Jeep, but also I feel free. So hence the like flight and feathers. But also airplanes have been flying above the Jeep laying their chemtrails. So it's like a mixture of that stuff. Aurora had gotten blood and bleed. And well, I'd be lying if I didn't say that there weren't at times I had gotten quite beat up trying to um, like get the Jeep out of certain situations that I may have gotten stuck in. um, let's see. Janine got boot. I definitely. Oh, you know what's interesting with boot? Boot could also mean the trunk, which is cool because like I could stick whatever I want back there because you just fold everything down. It's like a little box, really. But also boots. there's only one pair of boots I can really wear in that Jeep, so it's always funky. I always have to take off my boot to work the clutch because it's a manual. So I can't really work the clutch when I'm wearing boots for some reason. So I always usually just wear flip flops when I ride my Jeep or drive my Jeep. So it's funny, yeah. My little cowgirl boots, I always have to take off one boot and like toss it in the back every time I drive. Um, let's see, let's go back here. Do, do, do. Okay, Sunny had gotten peachy or cantaloupe color. And for me, it's like, I don't know, like when we were driving from Tempe to here, when we were just like visiting the property before we actually like came to live here, we would always pick up like a ton of fruit. So like thinking of the peaches and the cantaloupes, that was probably all the fruit that would roll around in the back because we're like going off road, like and the fruit's just like all over the place. So that's kind of funny. um, let's see. Do do do. KDS worker got no lines. That's definitely I don't have lines out here. There are no roads. I make my own roads. Liesl got oak. Ketsy is strong. Aurora got the Linkin Park song Bleed It Out. Definitely. And there's also a lot of healing that I went through while driving that Jeep. A lot of release. Tiny Witch got a beautiful smell like flowers and powdery soap. I got an image of bubbles with it. Lovely. I would say so, that I feel content. To me, those are very content feelings. Flowers, powdery soap. I feel safe when I'm in my Jeep. I feel content. I don't feel that I'm ever in any sort of harm's way. I don't feel like I'm ever going to crash. I don't feel like anything bad could ever happen. Like I'm in a fun vehicle doing fun things and that I'm always safe when I do so. So very cool. KDS said inclusion, definitely. Everything coming together. Susie said rainbow too, and the shed. Oh my gosh. Ketsy is near, I mean, our shed is right here. And by the way, I've taken so many pictures of the rainbow. There is one particular rainbow, or actually, there's two, that when it rains, these two rainbows always appear in the exact same spots, like every single time. And one of those rainbows goes right over my Jeep over to our neighbor's house. Like, and I've taken pictures of that, that the rainbow is always over my Jeep. So that's cool. Let's see. Let me go back here. Do, do, do. Edgar says, I keep hearing like an eagle or a hawk, so it's flight, airplane, feathers. Definitely feeling super free. Edgar says, I always get journey. Eagles represent freedom to where you go, where to go where you please to me. Definitely. And Sunny's like, roads, where we're going, we don't need roads. I got you. I would love it if Ketsy's wheels just pushed up inside her and we just flew off in my Jeep. That would be super cool. Uh, everything awesome ride. Susie saying, yes, Lias, we're doing psychic exercises, but at the end, yes, we will do our super chats and super stickers to those who are interested in a personal one card reading. So yeah, we'll do that at the end if you want to stick around. Um, Edgar's like, Janine, those boots were made for walking. Aurora said, let me know when you're ready for my word. Sure. Um, Susie said, and Tiny Witch, that reminds me of the car wash baby powder smell. Yes. Oh, you know what? She could be asking for a wash. She's a little on the muddy side. Actually, do you want me to? You know what? Let me flip it around so you guys can actually see my Jeep. Tiny Witch says, some have a flying motorcycles, others have flying Jeeps. Yes. And Edgar says, you're turning the Jeep into a magic Jeep. You just need frizzy red hair. I know, right? And then we're gonna get small and we're gonna go through the digestive system. Okay, let me turn this around. There she is. That's Ketsy. Ketsadora is a little dirty, but yeah, she's badass. We go through everything. The birds concur. All right. Okay. Um, let's you know what? Yeah, let's do Aurora's, let's do Caitlin's word. So we'll do that. And then I have one more exercise for you guys. And then we'll go into our super chats and super stickers. I think that that would be fun. And then we'll do our healing, of course. Always got to do our healing. Um, Sunny said, love your Jeep. Thank you. Tiny Witch said, looks badass. Well, thank you. You know what? She's gone over quite a bit of things. She's gone where there literally are no roads, like roads that are meant for like little ATV off road vehicles, like with big dips where I could have sworn I was going to smash my front end into one of those dips. And she's just like, ugh. I love her. And I call her Quetzadora because Quetzalcoatl is the Aztec feathered serpent, much like Kukulkan in Mayan mythology. So it's like the connection to sky and earth, hence the feathers. Ketsi, that's Edgar. That's probably why a lot of you guys were getting feathers, is because she is named after the feathered serpent. And then Dora the Explorer. So she is Quetzadora. So yeah, I think she has a highly unusual name, but I love it. Okay, so Aurora says, I'm ready. Take a breath and comment now. Okay, you guys, let's tap into Aurora's word. Okay. Okay, so from my intuition's point of view, I saw like giraffes and I saw like gorillas, like animals that you would see at the zoo. Like I keep seeing like zoo animals, all these different interesting animals together. Gorillas and kangaroos and giraffes. Let's see. I'll say some of yours. Susie says, I'm getting a magic wand and sparkles and glitter, also hearts. Janine is getting glass. Sunny is getting purple. Susie has perfume. Sunny said something purple. Tiny Witch got summer. Susie got Barbie. Sunny says, my intuition is broken lately. All I get are colors and auras. I don't think that's broken. I think that you're just seeing things in colors and auras, and that's wonderful. Lisa got a sphere, oracle, or orb of light. Edgar says, after seeing adult Dora on Robot Chicken, I can never look at Dora the same. Wow. Susie says, sunny colors are way cool. Yes. I know a lot of people that just their intuition sees things in color. So that's amazing. But yeah, we'll give people a little bit more time before Aurora reveals to us what that word is, and then maybe how each of your comments, each of your intuitions may have been just seeing it from different angles and perspectives. Susie said, Lisa, that makes sense too. And Tiny Witch says, everyone receives differently. Yes. And Lisa said, Susie, I haven't all my Barbies out. I've been cleaning them. Yeah, this weekend. Edgar says, I'm so focused on yellow today. I don't know why. Actually, speaking of Barbies, sorry, I have like just the stuff in the air just kind of messes with my eyes, makes them kind of watery. I'm not crying, I swear. But not that it's bad to cry, just so you know. I gave all of my Barbie dolls and all the Barbies that I inherited to my best friend's wife, who's also my friend. So yeah, Tamika, if you're watching this, you better still have my Barbies. She said she'd take good care of them. So Tiny Witch says yellow is my favorite color, Edgar. Susie got 1010. And actually, I was just talking about yellow yesterday that my grandmother painted my bedroom yellow because she said that that felt like home for me. She was like, your bedroom needs to be yellow, like sunshine, so that you're always in sunshine, so that you're always happy. She says, I feel like a little girl should have sunshine yellow in her bedroom. And what I just had put together is that all of these flowers, I don't know if you guys can see them out here, or if it even comes up on camera, but that is yellow. It's all yellow out there. I don't think you guys can see it, but it's all yellow flowers. So basically, this hill in particular only has yellow flowers. And so not only did I grow up in a yellow bedroom, which was home, but now my home is covered in yellow flowers. So um, let's go back here. Edgar says, green and blue. I see a hummingbird. Janine said maybe Tara needs to buy some yellow boots that fit in her Jeep. No heeled boots. That's true. I do have yellow boots, but they're my galoshes. They're my wellies. So um, Susie said yellow is Buddha too, and Mercury and Wednesday. Nice. Gemini me. Okay, so is that everybody's comments? I believe it is. So Aurora, whenever you're ready, go ahead and comment. And if you want to comment on how everybody's comments may have, or intuition may have seen this from a different perspective, let us know. Oh, yeah. I have yellow on my watch. Oh, and yellow in the clothes I'm wearing today. That's cool too. We're just in a yellow mood. They should have made a song. I'm yellow, do 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 do. I'm yellow. Okay, so Aurora says a lot of you were getting my location. My word was foxfire. Oh, so cool. Interesting. So yeah, everybody may have been tapping into different things. So either tapping into foxfire itself, tapping into the location. Interesting. And I have an oracle deck called the Foxfire. Yeah, Foxfire deck. Um, it's the Kitsune. So cool. Aurora says, I'm in my bedroom staring at my oracle collection. So cool. Yeah, and then like with the kitsune, which could transform themselves into a beautiful woman, but they're like the seven-tailed fox. So yeah, foxes, animals. If people were getting animals, interesting. And all the colors, kitsune, definitely a lot of different colors. That's cool. Susie said I was tapping into Liesel's Barbies. Love that. And Edgar says, Aurora, sure, Foxfire wasn't your nickname. I'd love a nickname like that. That would be a cool nickname. Tiny Witch said, so cute. Is that a dress or a top? Yellow by Coldplay. That's my theme. Maybe it's Tara's too. It was all yellow. I did steal that song from the radio and burn it onto CD. I mean, I totally paid for it. Anyway. Let's see, Aurora. So my Barbie collection is to the right. So cool. Suni said Foxfire flower is purple, I believe. And you guys are getting purple as well. This is amazing. And Tiny Witch, this is actually my jumper, like it's a romper. So if I have to go to the bathroom, I technically have to get naked so I can go to the bathroom. But yeah, it's just like shorts, oh, connected to my top. Let's see. Susie says, I think we did great as a group doing this. I know this was fun. Thank you, Aurora, for offering to do a word with this. This was so cool. Aurora said, Tiny Witch, I have a glass bottle filled with Jordan River water. Oh, yeah, a lot of you guys were getting like orbs and glass water. That's so cool. Edgar says, I have to settle for Silver Fox. Edgar. Let's see. Aurora said, my walls are pink and purple. Wow. Tiny Witch, so cute. Love yellow and blue. Dude, and I think by doing this, especially doing it live where you guys can interact with each other, you can totally see how our intuition all just works differently for each and every one of us. Like we tap in differently. And I think that's what holds people back sometimes is like sometimes we watch our favorite, mediums or psychics or tarot slingers, and we're like, man, I wish I had their intuition, but their intuition is their own, and you have your own. I believe everybody on this planet is intuitive because we have a spirit inside of us. That spirit is not bound by space or time, it's infinite. And so it's that infinite spirit that we tap into for that intuition. Sure, do people have a stronger intuition than others sometimes, but I think that's just because some people are more comfortable tapping into it. So they allow it to be more of a presence in their life. Some people fear their intuition, so it's not as strong as an influence in their life. But I think that the more you get comfortable with how your personal intuition works, whether you're seeing colors, whether you hear music or it's coming in bits and pieces, the clearer it's going to be for you, the more that you feel comfortable and confident with it. Because so many people are so quick to say, "Oh, I'm not psychic," or "Oh, no, no, I can't do what those other people do." But you can. You just do it differently, and that's fantastic. And I think the more people who tap into that intuition with all your different varying abilities and perspectives, like how cool is that? Like, see, like everybody in this chat, everybody coming together with all their different intuitions, and by doing so, you create this beautiful picture for everybody. Like, this is amazing. But just like one psychic on their own, you get a piece of it. Two psychics, together, now you get two pieces of it. You get how many people are in here? 11. You get 11 people all together. Now you have 11 different psychic perspectives. That's an amazing picture that's being painted. So, you guys are amazing. I love it. Let's see. Let's go here. Um, Susie said, yes, so true and amazing. Sunny said, collective energy. Tiny Rich said, Aurora, love river water, beautiful. Edgar said, okay, this all explains why I'm so obsessed with yellow today. You get nothing but yellow surrounding you today. Exactly. Yellow, yellow, yellow. In my Jeep is yellow. Aurora said, Edgar, the green and blue hummingbird is my Barbie doll that's inspired by the water lily painting by Monet. So cool. Tiny Witch said, Barbie. Aurora said, I think I covered everything. Well done, guys. I agree. Well done. This is fabulous. Okay, we'll do one more exercise and then we'll go into super chats or super stickers if you guys want to do that. And then we'll go into our healing. Okay? So thank you for everybody who joined us. I think that was fun. Okay, I'm going to use, since Aurora was talking about staring at her Oracle deck collection, that's actually what I'm going to use. Okay, so just so you know the deck, or maybe I don't tell you the deck that I'm working with. Yeah, let's not tell you the deck that I'm working with, because then some of you might have this deck and then you start thinking of all the images that are in it, and that might like throw everything off. We don't want to get your logic in there. We want to get your intuition in there. So uh, Edgar said, Aurora, last night I was looking at Monet paintings. Dude, you guys are so freaking connected to each other. It's amazeballs. Okay, what I'm going to do, oh, you're very welcome, Susie, is I'm going to pull a card. I'm going to stare at the imagery on the card. I'll even stare at the words that are on the card. I'm going to try my best to push that energy out there to you guys, the imagery, the words, the feelings maybe associated with it. And then whatever impressions you guys are getting, just like before, just like with Aurora, go ahead and post what you're getting. I should totally use that card, but I'm going to let the universe choose. So I'm going to shuffle the cards so you guys get a nice, hold on, wait, my microphone's here. I'm going to shuffle it in the microphone. Okay, I have my card. Okay, I'm going to take a look at it. You guys take your time. Okay. I won't say what makes up these cards. So just whatever you're getting, let me know. And I'm going to stare at this. Aurora said, you're welcome, Tiny Witch. We need to do this again next week. Janine said it could be used to make glass, which is a type of glass that has been heated and cooled to create a crackled effect that resembles foxfire. And yeah, you had said glass. Very cool. Okay, so I'm just tapping in with you guys. The Blue Jays are looking for their water. Okay. Okay. Oh, I love your messages that you guys are getting. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to comment. Okay. Okay, some more comments still coming in, so I'll wait just a moment. A lot of you guys, wow. Oh my goodness. Okay. Is that everybody? Don't feel rushed, so, but let's see. Okay, so Edgar's got another one in there. Okay. Are you guys ready? Here you go. This is the card, and there's a lot going on in this card, by the way. Oh, KDS Worker has another one. Okay. Okay, here's the card, you guys. It says gratitude, receiving, blessings, thanks, giving. Notice that she has suns all over her outfit. She has a very drapey outfit on. It's kind of like she's next to a little tree, but it's like a big flowery plant. She has a pendulum hanging from it. She has another little like witchy amulet hanging from it. We have what looks like Stonehenge up here. There's a mountain. We have the moon. There's lots of different colors, the yellows, the greens. It is a deck that normally has a ton of animals in it. This is called the Universal Folk Oracle. So yes, it's definitely an animal deck. The backs also have animals, lots of different colors. We have birds here. Wow. Okay, so let's talk about your comments. Let's go back here. Mhm. Okay, so KDS Worker at first got doubt, which kind of looks like the energy here. Like she's almost like, whoa, should I go up this mountain? I don't know. Susie got the Queen of Wands or a broom. I definitely feel with like the yellow energy, the sun energy. That's definitely a Wands energy to me. KDS also got choices. It definitely looks like a choice. Like, do I go up the mountain or do I not? Aurora got the tree, which this could be seen as a tree. Dragon got a man with dark jacket on holding an amulet. And she definitely is wearing some sort of like draped thing or jacket. And then there is an amulet here. It's actually a pendulum, which is pretty cool. Kayla got the hermit and strength. This definitely does feel like a solitude type energy. Sunny said dress, shroud, cape, long draped garment. Yep, yep. Aurora getting princess. This could very well be a princess. Susie getting the witch energy, probably from the witchy amulet that we have here, usually created during Lanasa. Janine got bamboo, which is interesting because these flowers, they almost remind me of cherry blossoms, which would then remind me of bamboo, which is more coming from like an Asian country. Very cool. So Aurora, tree and princess, KDS worker, separating earth from the higher realm. Yep, earth, higher realm. There's the moon. Dragon got the emperor. Definitely standing in her energy. If you're standing in receiving and blessings and gratitude, that is definitely a very like emperor type energy. Edgar getting hearts, love, and sharing of cups. Gratitude. Yep, yep. Faith. The yellow sheen. Here we have a bunch of yellow in here. And witch tights. Lisa got trumpets like fanfare. A hill. Yep. Or the sun. Definitely people getting the sun. Oneness. Yep. All is one in here. Tiny Witch, it's an unusual niche deck with blue and white backs. I think animals are in it. Yep. And there are, well, lots of blue in there as well, but very cool. Definitely lots of animals. Kayla got the sun, the Queen of Cups, and like we said, there are suns right here. Cups energy, probably with the moon energy here, the receiving. Edgar got the lovers and the Two of Cups. Release, yep. Sunny got draped, flappy, flying in the breeze. That's definitely her outfit. I could see that flying in the breeze, maybe. Edgar says, OMG, I'm at the hospital getting my meds and I am witnessing my first Karen. Wow. Aurora said, this is so much fun. Aurora says, I have another one in mind if you have time. Well, I do want to get to the super chats and super stickers, but I think what would be really fun, maybe. Ooh, Aurora, you know what would be really cool is if you wanted to continue this on Instagram, but like if you posted it on your Instagram channel and like allowed people, just the random people that look at our Instagram pages to just comment. So maybe you want to do like a reel or something like that. Say, you know, whatever like word, you know, say, hey, I'm thinking of a word right now. Comment down below of what you feel, you know, your impression of the word that I've written down or that I'm thinking of. And then maybe you can make a follow-up reel, kind of like I did with my videos. I mean, you don't have to do it that way. I'm just like giving examples, but maybe you could do like a follow-up reel of like, hey, here's me addressing each of the comments and how they connected to the thing. So that might be really fun. And you guys can do it on your Instagrams as well, or maybe you guys do Twitter, or I don't know what other social media you guys do. Maybe you have another YouTube channel and you want to try it out. But I think this would be great. Caitlin, Susie said, Caitlin, Tara has super chats coming in. Yeah. Aurora said that would be permanent. This is more in the moment. Ooh, you could do it live, an Instagram live. KDS says, my first name is Karen. Well, hello. We don't mean it in the negative. I mean, our neighbor's name is Karen, and she's a lovely, lovely lady. I think of her as like, if in another life, she could be my grandmother. um, okay, so yeah, I mean, we could definitely try to incorporate this like into our future live chats. Maybe we'll do like one little exercise or something. I think it would be fun, you know. So Caitlin, give me some good ideas. Okay, so let me get my deck that I want to use out. Okay, so we are going to go into super chats and super stickers. Afterwards, we'll go into our healing. We'll let spirit guide us for the type of healing that is needed, especially for this upcoming week. Remember the message for the upcoming week, to give gratitude to our ego whenever it flares up. maybe gets anxious, maybe gets worried, spirals out of control, it's really just telling us that it needs help. That's when we drop into the higher self and we ask for guidance or clarity in whatever situations may arise this week in all of the different lives that we lead here. Let's see. Edgar says, okay, Karen down. She tripped on the rug as she was being escorted out. I know I shouldn't laugh, but if you guys were seeing what I am, oh my goodness. Oh, oh. Well, hopefully everybody learned something from that situation. I don't know, including the person who's being escorted out or dragged out. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Okay, the deck I have, I mean, I could always use my tarot deck too, but for any of the, if anybody wants to do super chats or super stickers, I have my Seasons of the Witch Mabon edition, or some people say Mabon, Mabon edition, since we have that coming up in this month of the 20th and the 21st and the 22nd and the 23rd. It lasts for a little while. So yeah, just let me know. Edgar says, the show in front of me is healing me good. Oh my gosh, Edgar, you crack me up. Okay. I'll just get a little bit of water and then also contemplate too what to do for our guided meditation. And by the way, if you like my guided meditations, I do offer them on my Patreon page. So in my Patreon group, once a month, I do a guided meditation for all of my patrons. So it doesn't matter what tier you're at, everybody gets a guided meditation. Sometimes I incorporate them during the Patreon only live chats, which I do. And that one is, I believe, my $10 tier for the monthly live chats. But sometimes I do guided meditations in there. So, just if you're interested in more than what we do every Sunday. So, let's see. Oh, Aurora. Okay. Is my Pisces friend and I growing apart? Okay, so let's tap in. And thank you, Aurora, for your donation. Susan said, beautiful. Janine said, ooh, I fancy that I've got Seasons of the Witch, but not that one. Anyone getting the in bulk one? Ooh, I would love to get that one, actually, the pre order. Aurora says, I feel like she's being more abrupt and losing patience with me. Oh no. Janine said, yes, I was thinking of getting that. Okay, so let's take a look at your Pisces friend. Your Pisces friend. Okay. Okay. Aurora, before I even pull a card, there was a song that popped up in my head. I mean, you guys probably remember it. It's in sync. It's tearing up my heart when I'm with you, but when we are apart, I feel it too. And no matter what I do, I feel the pain with or without you. Mm. Um, so yeah, there's definitely some interesting energy between you guys right now. So let's tap in. Ooh, so we have this card and it says, coming of darkness, all the light is dimming, life is withering at the core. Are you ready? So let's tap into this. Okay. So Aurora, it feels like whatever you both are going through right now, it feels like your friend is going through a bit of a transformation, meaning anything that you do, and it doesn't matter whether you do something right or wrong, your friend is getting triggered. Um, and I wouldn't say that that's a bad thing because, excuse me, when we become triggered, that leads us towards healing. Because obviously, we find that there's something that is out of balance, that is causing us to become triggered so that we can heal. So I would say that's actually kind of a good thing that you would trigger your friend, which is also why when you guys are apart, kind of like the In Sync song, um, your friend really does enjoy being your friend. Like your friend enjoys your energy, but at the same time, you've been doing a lot just by being yourself, not necessarily like you've done anything wrong or anything like that. You're just being you. And in doing so, this has triggered some shadows in your friend, which has caused your friend to be a little bit more curt with you, a little bit more abrupt. And I would say it does feel like there is some distance that's being caused in that friendship where you guys are starting to separate a bit. But it's only because I feel like this person is really going into the shadows with themselves. They really are going into some sort of transformation, healing mode. A lot of things are being revealed to them. They're understanding more about themselves. And actually, maybe they don't see it from the perspective that I see it, but it's because of you. Like you've offered them this opportunity to heal, to look inwards. And although it may not feel great when you guys are together because it may feel like, oh, this person is mad at me, the ego may feel agitated by you. Yes, their ego may be. Their higher self is doing a happy dance at the moment because it's like freaking yes, this person needs to heal. This person needs these shadows to come up so this person can make the transformations that they want in their life. So I don't feel like at a core level this person feels any sort of animosity towards you or dislikes you in any sort of way. But for the time being, the friendship is growing apart because the ego doesn't know where to point blame. The ego wants to blame something like, "Oh, I'm just, it's her, it's her." When it's not you, you are more of a catalyst for their own self-reflection. So that's what's going on right now. So will you guys remain friends? I'm not sure at the moment. It doesn't feel like mm, you guys are going to remain close friends like you used to be, at least for now. For now is more of a pulling away so this person can really start to heal and understand themselves. But you've offered them this opportunity, which I think is great. So, Rosa, thank you. I hope she'll be okay. I think so. I feel that. I feel it's going to be a little bit of like a dark night of the soul, which a lot of us have been going through. But I don't consider the dark night of the soul to be a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Sometimes we need to see our darkness. We need to go into it. And I know it doesn't feel good. I know, I really know it doesn't feel good. But we always come out lighter on the other end. And I feel like that's going to be the same for your friend. He or she is going to find the healing that they need, even if it's going to feel like a rocky road, leading up to it. So, okay, so let me go back to your comments here. Do do do. Do do. Butterfly said in bulk is delayed again. I think I canceled my order till it comes out. Oh my goodness. Tiny Witch says, I still want to get witchlings. Oh, Janine, sure. Let's pull a card for you. Janine said, advice for me for the autumn season. All right, let's pull some cards here. All right, Janine, tapping in. Okay, Janine, interesting visual that I was getting, but I was seeing you as if you were a little kid in the kitchen with your mom, or at least it was just symbolic of a mom, and you helping, but the mom getting upset, like, oh, you're not doing it right. Like, that's not how we bake whatever it is that you were baking, like baking cookies. Like, no, 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 like you're doing it wrong. But then I see like the little version of you like coyly turn aside and it's like, well, I'm gonna do it my way anyway. But it was like that's the thing. That's the breaking away from like programming this autumn is like you were told how to do things right and wrong. That if you do it this way, that's the wrong way. Everybody does it this way, or you were told to do it this way, otherwise you get in trouble or things like that. And I think that you're starting to see some of this programming. So it's like the little version of you is actually the higher self version of you is like, you know what? I'm just going to do things my way. And that is the right way, to do it the way your heart is leading you, the way your higher self leads you to do things, regardless of what any sort of reader, parent, education system, best friend, doesn't matter. What matters is what your higher self says, what your heart says. That's the whole purpose of us doing the psychic ability exercise sessions, is so that we get comfortable with that inner voice. And it feels like that is something that you're really gonna focus on. Ooh, this autumn, and it looks like you got the same freaking card, but it literally says something different to me. So this is the same card that, Aurora had just gotten, but this means something totally different. Like, I feel like this is again, the person is in the kitchen, which is kinda cool, but it's a separation. Like, I'm starting to separate myself from the version that I was told that I was, that, as you were being molded growing up, as you were being molded by oh, okay, now we're back. My parents, although maybe well-meaning, they didn't know who your higher self was. They were just repeating what their parents told them. So, yeah. Um, yeah, I think this is a coming into your own, this autumn. Keep following your heart, even if it's contrary to what everybody around you is saying. I think that's the message for you this autumn. Um, okay, so let's go back here. So thank you so much, Janine. Let's see, let's go to KTS. Am I on the right path? Okay, let's pull a card. Am I on the right path? Okay. KTS, am I on the right path? And KTS, I don't know if you meant to, but I think you sent the same question twice. Um, okay, let's look here. Okay. Okay, so when I was just visualizing, and again, it's all just symbolic, it's metaphors and all of that, as I see you walking down this forest road, and since there's things that are popping out on this road, like a little snake goes across the road, or like spider comes down from the tree, it's like, ah, or a snake goes across the road, ah, you know, there's a giant elk staring at you, and you're like, ah. And so there's all these things that seem terrifying. And it seems like sometimes you question whether you're on the right path because the path seems to have certain things in the way, because it doesn't seem like a clear, smooth sailing path. Sometimes you're like, well, then does that mean that it's wrong because it doesn't feel like it's just like, hunky dory all the time? So yeah, it feels like it's stemming from those emotions, like, well, certain things have kind of popped up that don't feel right. They feel kind of weird or scary. So I'm wondering if I'm on that right path. So let's see. Okay. And here we have mountain cabin. There are times when solitude can be healing and enlightening. I love all the birdies up here. Okay. So let's tap into this. Okay, so your higher self is reminding you that there is technically no wrong path. You can envision when you start your life, you're at the top of this mountain, right? And when it rains, rain trickles down in all these different pathways. There's all these different crooks and crannies and um, canals that the water travels down, eventually leading to a ground lake or ocean or river. Um, But sometimes when the water travels down, it might ask itself if it's on the right path. And technically it is, because it's all headed to the exact same place. Some trickles of water, streams of water, are more straight and narrow, so they're going to get to the river faster or they're going to get to the lake faster. Some kind of take a wayward path, and that's fine too, but they all get to the lake. And so in this moment in time, it feels like this isn't a time for you to like be surrounded by tons of people and being invited to all these parties and all of these great adventures happening right now and all times of creation, and it doesn't feel like it's a creation moment and a time for distraction for you. Much like the card says here, this is a time for going inwards, a time for you to start asking yourself, why let's say I see a snake crossing the road. It doesn't need to be a literal snake, but it's symbolic. A snake crossing the road on my journey. Why do I fear that so much? Why does that scare me? This is a time for going inwards now, going back to perhaps a past situation, maybe a past trauma that is very similar to the energy that you're seeing in the quote unquote snake crossing the road. And when you can recognize that, you heal that. And that's your path at the moment is going along it, and it's the right path. But now starting to ask why these certain situations along your path, these certain people, these places, these things that are popping up for you, why do they bother me? Why do they feel cumbersome sometimes? Why do I feel wrong in my stomach or things like that? So that you can go inwards now. Instead of looking for all of the answers the way our mind, our logic mind would want to find them, like, maybe if I just look on the internet hard enough, I'll find an answer to this. Or maybe if I just ask enough people, I'll find an answer to why I feel so bad about this thing, when really your higher self has all those answers. And so you go inwards, you find out where it's actually stemming from, and you're like, ah, okay, I heal that. Now you see the snake crossing the road, and you're like, hey, snake, see you later, and it doesn't bother you anymore. And so you continue on in your journey. And actually, it's by doing that that the journey does feel the way you want it to feel. That kind of, it just feels like I'm just flowing along like this water, like the water you hear in the background. I'm just flowing along now. And it's not that there aren't obstacles, it's just they don't bother you anymore because you're not triggered by them anymore. And nothing from the past is coming up to trigger that because the past is getting healed. So, yes, you are on the right path, but it is one of going inwards at this time. Katia says, I love that metaphor. Thank you. You're very welcome. Let's see. Let's go back here. Dragon. All right. Dragon says, yes, I do have a question. Is the new job I successfully entered into recently turn out well long term for me? So you're Pisces with the Sag rising. Actually, I was just talking about Sagittarius before I came on the live chat today. So that's interesting. Okay. So Dragon, let's do this. So you just entered a new job. Will it be long term? Okay. Okay. Long term, I would say, like, is this something you're going to do by the time you're like 65? I don't feel so. I do feel that I know it's going to sound very vague. It's going to be long enough for you to gather all the skills that you will need for your next adventure. I do feel like it'll be somewhere around like a year, couple of years even, um, to where you feel like you've learned enough. Where I would say, the beginning feelings. When we start a new job, we have these like beginning feelings like, ooh, like everything is so new. There's so much I have to learn about working with the people here, getting to know the people here, getting to know how we do things, getting to understand my job completely, like getting in a flow in my job, in my, what I'm responsible for. But it feels like there comes a time though, like a year or 2 years down the road, where you feel complete. Like, you know what? I feel like I gathered everything I was meant to gather. Not just at a logic level, like, understanding it in 3D, but I feel like my soul is ready for the next thing, is ready for the next chapter. But it feels like you need the job that you have now because of the future that it will have, the future situations, the future successes, the future conflicts that will come with this job. There's so much to be learned and so much to put into your tool belt. So that's actually a really fun adventure that you're on. You're like, wow, it's just like the Legend of Zelda. You're going in and you don't know what's gonna come, but you get a flow for it, and then all of a sudden, by the end of the game, or at least the end of level one, I have all these tools, my tool belt. I have all these things, and I think I'm ready for the next level. So that's what it feels like for you. But let's pull a card. Wish I could have played more Legend of Zelda, but alas, I didn't have that video game console. I had to borrow it from a good friend. Okay. Ooh, corn maze. It says, although your path is unclear, it is there waiting for your faith to lead you. And I feel like this is very much like a corn maze at the beginning of a brand new job. You're like trying to navigate, you figure out all the things, but wait a minute, I get to the end of the corn maze. Oh, I've made it out. I mean, it'd be quite silly to just keep going back and going through the whole maze like over and over again. You already know it by heart and you've gathered all the skills you need. Now you know how to get through a corn maze. You're like, okay, I'm ready for the next thing. Maybe I go and I don't know, maybe get into one of those like Victorian mazes now, like a flower maze. So it feels like, yes, you're going to be there for at least a little while, a year to two, until your higher self is like, you're ready. You're ready for the next level. You've got this. So I congratulate you on your new adventure. I think this is going to be a really fun one for you. Yeah, and I wish you well. Let's see. Let's go back here. Do, do, do. Just want to make sure I don't miss people. Aurora. Oh, okay. All right. Aurora said, will the Taurus forgive me? Okay, let's take a look at this. Um, and then we'll get to Butterfly Love Child, of course. Dragon said, Zelda, whoosh. All right. So, Caitlin, wanting to know if the Taurus will forgive me. Okay. I feel like eventually, but much is like the Taurus nature, sometimes they move a little more slowly than, let's say, other signs. But I just got this feeling of when they have enough time to reflect on it, enough time to feel through it, um, to think on it, but also to feel it in their body, is like, okay, all right, I'm ready for forgiveness. Because I think at a certain point, a lot of people, doesn't matter your sign, a lot of people begin to realize that by holding on to anger towards another or frustration or being upset at what somebody else did is really just continuing a punishment on their part. They like, what, I don't want to continue being upset at this person. It makes me feel bad. I don't want to continue being angry at this person. It makes me feel bad. But if I forgive, I release that energy. And this also allows you, Caitlin, to also feel that healing energy. Like, oh, you may not know where that energy is coming from, but when people release any sort of negative energy towards you, it's felt on some level. As you're also, contemplating the situation, you're also trying to learn from the situation, so that as you forgive yourself, forgive everybody who was involved in the situation, no matter who we think is fault or even if there was a fault. It's just, I forgive. This allows this other person to have the time to contemplate, and eventually they learn to forgive as well. But I do want to pull a card on it, so let's go. Ooh, we have the Apothecary Cabinet. I will say this is probably my favorite card in this deck. It says, without practice, without befriending them, they are strangers in your path. And so, although, yes, I do feel that eventually this person will find forgiveness in their heart, um, because they realize what the energy of forgiveness is about. And by holding on to a particular emotion nonstop, even if it was an emotion of happiness, to hold on to one emotion and negate all the others is very stifling to us. So, as human beings. But there's also something for you to learn here as well, that with all the interactions, all the friends that you've ever had, whether they're your friends currently or not, maybe friends that have fallen away, maybe arguments that you've had with friends, or even the joys that you've had with friends, all of them were meant to be for your experience, for their experience as much as your experience, so that you can learn. And through this we learn how to work with people better. We learn to be better friends. We learn when our ego is speaking and when our higher selves are speaking with those that we love, those that we call friends and family. So this was, I would say, definitely this person was meant to be in your life so that you both could learn something. And now you both will eventually learn what the true act of forgiveness means. It doesn't mean that, like, oh, when we forgive, oh, you've been absolved of everything and it doesn't matter what we did. We just forgive. Like, no, that's not the thing. We're supposed to learn the lessons and then we release the energy through the act of forgiveness. So, yes, eventually they will forgive. Aurora said, thank you. That really helps. You're very welcome. Let's see. And then we have Butterfly Love Child. What's up? Says, I can't seem to focus on where I want to base at for my England trip. What general area would be best for my higher self? Okay, so, ooh, going on an England trip. That sounds freaking amazing. Oh, you know what? There are a couple of people here that are from England. We have Janine, we have Lisa. Maybe you can even meet our fellow YouTube friends in here. So that'd be cool. Okay, so let's tap in though. Just gonna move my energy all over England at the moment with you. Okay, so what was coming up um, was Alice in Wonderland. I don't know how much sense that makes, but I kept seeing Alice in Wonderland, the Cheshire Cat, like the Queen of Hearts, and I mean, I'm not truly up on my Alice in Wonderland. I've like kind of forgotten a good. I remember the gist of it. I just don't remember like the points. So I don't know if that actually took place in England. But I don't know. All I kept seeing was Alice in Wonderland, Cheshire Cat. Interesting. Oh, Aurora said the Taurus is also from England, as it always happens in our chat. Okay, so let's pull a card here. And I keep saying the Queen of Hearts. The Queen of Hearts, Cheshire Cat. Queen of Hearts, Cheshire Cat. We have the Harvest Witch here. What sacrifices have you made for the greater vision of what is to be? Let's tap in. Is there, I mean, there probably is. Is there a place in England that is Cheshire, like the cat? I wonder. And if you are from England, please do help me out, as I'm not great with the geography, but that's why my higher self was just like, Alice in Wonderland, Cheshire Cat. But more the countryside is what I'm getting, like kind of maybe away from the big cities or the big cities that may be around there. Like that might be fun to just like set up your base camp more in the countryside, maybe even if you got an Airbnb somewhere out there instead of like getting a hotel or an Airbnb in the city. Like maybe if you could get it in the outskirts and then you could travel into the city and do your sightseeing and all the things that you want to do. But yeah, so maybe you want to look into that. Something about Alice in Wonderland, Cheshire Cat, and maybe setting up shop in the countryside. And Butterfly said there is a Cheshire, England. Okay. All right. Craig's like, well, there are a lot of shires. And I love that the places are called shires. It's just like, it just sounds magical, you know? Oh, Lisa says, yeah, I come from Cheshire, beautiful countryside. Its county town is Chester. Okay. All right. So, Butterfly Love Child, maybe if you want to give that a look into, the county of Chester. But if you can maybe look for maybe some sort of Airbnb or a place to stay in more of the countryside. And then that way you can go out and you can go into the cities and things. But that way it just feels like it would be better when you come back, you know. So, all right. Excellent. And you're going to have to share when you eventually do go on your trip, you're going to have to share all about it. And if you want to send pictures on Instagram, that would be great too. All right, Sunny said, is it a good time, fall, to reach out to Zach, which is your biological brother? All right, let's take a look ski for Sunny. All right, Sunny wanting to reach out to Zach. Okay, just the energy before I even pull a card just feels, what's the word for it? Sometimes I like lose my vocabulary. Um, it feels gentle, like calm, peaceful time, like almost nostalgic. That's the word I'm looking for. That it feels like Zach and just the energy of fall this time around, because it's not always the same, you know, depending on the year that we're in. But it feels like this is like a nostalgic time, kind of a reflective period. And it does feel like it would be a good time to reach out. Um, as this fall, especially, is going to feel very healing. Um, Healing is not always gentle, but it would be really beneficial, I think, for the two of you, both of you, um, to really express emotions, express how you're feeling, to for him to express how he's feeling, express his emotions. I think that this is a more gentle time. That if there were more fiery energy going on at this time, I think it would be a lot harder to make that connection. But I think that um, both your energies at this time would be really open to healing, to connection. So, hey Dana, how are you? All right, so let's pull a card here for Sunny and Zach. We have molasses. We have a little bird hopping away. It says, to move forward, you must know where you are headed. So, yeah, that's definitely the energy of fall that I'm getting. This molasses, this kind of slow moving, reflective, nostalgic time. And so I think if you like approach it, the situation, definitely go inwards, get yourself nice and centered, get yourself grounded. I know that there, especially when you're connecting with somebody either for the first time or for the first few times, we might feel a little bit of trepidation. We might feel really nervous, and that might build up our fiery energy, and we might come on as like, ah, when really we just want to make a connection. So just, you know, for your part, ground yourself, connect, have an intention. What do I what do I want to get out of this meeting with my brother? How do I want to feel in this meeting with my brother? And when you're very clear on your intention, how you want to feel, you know, what do you want to get out of all of this? You'll put yourself in a much more calm and centered space. And from that calm and centered space, you then approach your biological brother. He will be able to feel your energy, whether he knows how to tap into energy or not. We just feel energy. That's just how we are as human beings. He's going to feel that. Um, and that will allow him to open up his energy because he doesn't feel like on the defense, like, oh, this person's coming at me with fire. It's no, this person is coming at me with very clear intentions. They're very grounded, they're very centered. All right, I too am also ready to open up. And I think that it's just going to be a much more lovely encounter with the two of you getting together. So, yeah, I wish you well as you meet up with him. But yeah, I think fall is going to be a wonderful time for that, for sure. Let's see, let's go back here. And sorry I'm missing so many of your comments, but you know, I wanna make sure I get all of my homies here. Mm. Oh, hey, what's up, hummingbirds? Michelle, a message from your higher self, please. Sure, would be happy to do so. All right, so A message from the higher self. Okay, I'm just making sure I get everybody. And then Dana afterwards. Also a message from the higher self, for sure. Um, Everybody's saying hello, hello. James came in. Hello. How are you guys? All right. Okay, so Michelle, let's tap in a message from your higher self. Let's tap into your energy, chica. Oh, oh, okay. So your higher self was showing you again, all symbolic, but you with like a cane, not like a cane like feeble, but like you know how like people back in the like 19th century or whatever used to have like walking sticks and it was like a sign of prestige. It kind of looked like you with your walking stick, just like, yeah, I'm ready to step into my power. I'm feeling pretty badass at the moment. Just like bam. So yeah, I was getting that kind of energy, just walking with the walking stick, a very fancy one I might add. So let's see what message that brings. There have been so many birds.
Oh,
Like, they've been going crazy. They've been buzzing my head.
they're showing gratitude.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, thanks. Oh, okay. So here we have campfire. Do not let fear opening your mouth and allowing your tongue to speak. Do not fear opening your mouth and allowing your tongue to speak. So campfire. Okay, so this pairs well with the image that I was getting with you. Kind of, I don't know why. I'm also hearing what the heck? The Bee Gees. I'm hearing the Bee Gees. Oh, you can tell by the way I hold my hand. I'm a land to do, do, do. And I don't know. That song's playing, and you're just like with your freaking walking stick. You're like, yeah. But that's the energy your higher self wants you to embody because that is the energy of your higher self. Um, and the more you don't hold back, because it feels like you sometimes hold back for fear of offending people or like, I don't want to rock the boat, anything like that. And so some things you hold back, which actually could have been really helpful in certain situations. Like when you say freely what's on your mind, yeah, sure, it may offend some people, but this starts a conversation. Why was it offensive to this other person or this other group of people? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about where that's coming from. Is there a way that we can heal this? Is there a way that we can find common ground? But that all starts with an uncomfortable conversation, which means being very honest about what's on your mind. Um, Also, another feeling that was coming through is like holding back because I just don't want to rock the boat. But it's that same energy. Like I mean, it's very logical. Like we obviously don't want to cause conflicts with people. It's a very human thing. Like I don't want to get into fights with people. I don't want to cause conflicts. I don't want people to be angry with me. But sometimes that has to happen so that we can learn more about ourselves. We can learn about more about our thought process, their thought process. We learn more about other people, and we have opened up our heart chakras to be very honest with one another. They are now feeling comfortable enough to express their anger. Let's say it's anger. They're expressing that with you, and now you're like, "Whoa," but you tell them, "Whoa, this is why I didn't wanna upset you, you know, this is where I was coming from in that, but perhaps that's where I need healing. You know, I'm too afraid to cause conflict. Where is that coming from?" And you can have that discussion with this person or these people, and then maybe they too can say, "You know what? I felt that way too. There are a lot of times I felt like I was scared to speak my mind because," you know, and so this opens it up. And so your higher self is saying, this is time for you to be very honest, even if it's going to rock the boat, even if it's going to make people upset or angry, even if you feel like you want to crawl out of your own skin, because making people upset is the very last thing that you want to do. But it's very helpful. And you have the energy that, oh, hey, hummingbird. The hummingbird was like this close to the camera. But you have this energy that really helps to empower people, where at first, yeah, they might be a little agitated with you, they might be a little angry, but then they might realize that it's not you or even what you said that was angering. It was something that they needed to heal from, that they needed to look at, but also it was something for you to look at. And so from there, that's a totally empowering thing. No longer do I need to hide my voice, hide my thoughts, but now I speak with confidence because I know this is going to lead to healing. And you give them the permission slip to also be more of their authentic selves. Like if Michelle can just be herself and she doesn't care if she rocks the boat, man, I want to do that too because now I felt the healing energy from that. I felt what that was like. I want to be like Michelle, you know? So it's time for you to really embody that. You are somebody that people want to mirror themselves after. They want to be able not to be you, not to say that, but they want to embody your confidence. They want to embody their own power. So you have to step into your power so that they can see theirs. So, hey, hey, all right, Michelle. I dig that. You and your badass higher self. Okay, so let's go back here. Um, All right. Dana wanted a message from her higher self, which I'd be more than happy to. And I will go back and read this chat. I know it's going to take a while for like YouTube to transcribe this, but I do apologize for not being able to see each and every one of your comments right now. Um, let's see. So, yes, we will get to Dana. Um, Edgar said just had to help a man and his son get the grandfather into the car. The father was really triggering me how he was talking to his son. Interesting. Yep. When we get triggered, this is time for us to look into that. Susie's got 1111. All right. Okay, Dana, let's tap into this. And by the way, Dana says she's been seeing the 111 a lot lately. So, all right, Dana. Okay. So, Dana, what was coming to mind or just what your higher self was showing me as you on the playground as a kid, and you know how there are like a lot of songs that we sing when we're on the playground, especially like when you're doing like double dutch, like the jump rope. Like there are like certain things that we just kind of chant, you know, and it's fun, you know, because it goes with the rhythm of the double dutch. Um, Also, something about like dancing in a circle, like everybody's got their arms together and it's like everybody's like kind of like in the circle kind of chanting. So it was a lot of this like little kid energy, but like even when people messed up the chant or they um got ropesies, which is what we used to call it when you do double dutch, when the jump rope would hit your leg, you got ropesies. So you know, and you would be out for the next person to come in. Everybody was laughing and having such a good time with it though. Like nobody was upset. Like nobody was like, "Oh, my life is over because I freaking messed up on double dutch today." You know, it's just like, "Oh, I can't wait to jump back in." Like, "Oh, that was so fun." You know, and even when you know, we get the words messed up and maybe our friends tease us, you know, it's like, "Oh," you know, but it's all in fun. You know, and there are no hard feelings. There is no like, "Oh, I can't face the kids on the playground because I freaking messed up the merry-go-round song," or you know, things like that. Um, so let's pull a card and see. Oh, hello. Let's see what else your higher self has to say. Um, you also got the corn maze. And that makes sense for what I was seeing, which especially with double dutch, you know, the two jump ropes moving together and having to find a particular rhythm in your footing so that the jump rope doesn't catch you. Dana says, I've been paying attention a lot to my inner child lately. I've been feeling like I need to play more and touch on that side of me. Yeah, and I definitely feel like this is what your higher self is trying to tell you is when you go back to your childhood self, when you look at your own son who is a child, um, there isn't the pressure that we put on ourselves then that we do now. Like as children, you mess up, it's funny though. It's like, ah ha ha, okay, I want to try it again. Oh, I messed up on double dutch. That's fine. I just try it again. It's funny actually. We make fun of each other on the playground, but it's funny. It's just meant for fun. You play tetherball, you mess up, oh, the whole day isn't ruined. It's just, oh well, I'll get back again in line because I want to try again. And so your higher self is wanting you to get back into that energy. You fall down, laugh it off, pick yourself back up and get excited to get back in line and to try it again. Get excited to mess up because now you know how to do it even better next time. It's when we go in with the attitude of like, okay, all right, I'm ready for the double dutch. And I'm going to do this perfectly and I'm going to be the best double dutcher that ever lived. And if I mess up, oh man, my whole world's going to become shattered. Okay, now it's not fun anymore. It's become a chore. It's become some sort of like, my whole life depends on being perfect at double dutch or at tetherball or playing duck duck goose. And that's not fun because now our energy is that of competitive, I got to do it or else. And so everybody else around you feels really tense and they're like, "Oh man, maybe this isn't a fun game. Maybe this is like everybody's out for, blood playing freaking double dutch. That's not fun anymore." So, yeah, it's time to get out of our programmed adulting and for you to get back into being little Dana. Little Dana doesn't care what she breaks. She doesn't care how many times she falls down. She doesn't care if her jokes might offend somebody. She just does it. She's just herself. Oh my goodness, Miss Squirrel. Hey, Miss Squirrel. Oh my goodness. And as I say that, I haven't seen Miss Squirrel in forever. Hey, you. And that's just like another like sign from your higher self is she's laying on her tummy with her like paws like this. I've never seen a squirrel sit that way. Anyway, but Miss Squirrel, she has to adult, yes, because she has babies of her own. In fact, she brought her baby over to me and James so that we could see her baby, which was amazing. I've never seen an animal do that. So she knows she has responsibilities, but she also knows that she can play. And she doesn't care when she messes up because the birds laugh at her when she messes up, but she laughs at them too. And she does a bunch of silly things on this property. And we know that she's actually playing, that it's not full on squirrel mode. I must be like perfect squirrel. Like I'm always in survival mode. She's not always in survival mode. She knows that there are times when she has to be a squirrel and she has to forage for food. She knows there are times she has to be a mother, but also times where she's like, you know what? I just want to go play under the Jeep as she is right now. I'm going to go play under the Jeep right now. And that has nothing with me being a squirrel at the moment. She knows that when she brought her child by, her little baby squirrel, and the baby squirrel got scared and ran off, but she was like, eh, that's just kids being kids. She didn't run off in fear like, "Oh no, my child is scared." She was like, "Ah, my kid's gonna be okay. I'm gonna hang out with you guys for a little bit." So she is not in constant survivor mode. She knows how to balance play and survival, and I think that's the big message for you right now is play and when you gotta put on the mom pants and you gotta get to your adulting, but there are also times where you really have to let loose and not care the outcome of you letting loose. So, Dana said the survival program has been coming up a lot lately. Yeah, this is the squirrel came, I think, on one of my Patreon readings a couple of months ago. She must be really connected to you then. That's pretty awesome. Oh, she was up inside of my Jeep. That's cool. Hey, Miss Squirrel. So glad you came to hang out with us today. I'm glad you can give Dana a message. And she's just sitting there. She's sitting on her tummy. It's the cutest thing I've ever freaking seen. Hold on. Let me turn this camera around. Okay. Can you see under the Jeep, you guys? She's like right uh, like in the middle, like off to the back portion. I don't know if you could see. Anyway, she's sitting on her tummy. my gosh, that's so freaking cute. That's right, Miss Squirrel, you were on camera. How do you feel about that? Oh my goodness. Um, Susie said, I read something that has helped me recently. Us humans dream too small. Anything is possible. Don't limit yourself. It is starting to help me. And all right. Dana said, this is so cute. And she is so chill. Oh, she's climbing up inside my Jeep again. Alrighty. Quetzadora is home to a squirrel sometimes. Hey, baby. Thanks for stopping by. You're pretty awesome. Okay. I think Aurora had one last question. I think we'll end on Aurora and then we'll go into our guided meditation. So let's see, Aurora. Let's see, did you have your question? Okay, you said a friend is stuck in a mentally abusive marriage, but even though I want to help, I can't. Will she find the strength to leave her husband? Ah, okay. So let's tap into that. Miss Squirrel is over by the creek that James created right now, and she's drinking some water. Oh, this most awesome thing. But you know what's interesting is animals look at us and they're like, "Aw, look at that human trying to be all human. Aw." Seriously, that's how animals think about us. All right, Aurora, let's take a look. Okay. Before I pull a card, Caitlin, um, what was what it felt like was that until your friend who's in this marriage can see that what's going on in the marriage affects others, meaning how, obviously when somebody's being abused or mentally abused, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever it may be, we exude a particular energy. That energy is felt by everyone around us. Our decisions are based on that energy that we are in. The types of people we surround ourselves is based on the energy that we are in. Sometimes we try to call in helpful energy, like yourself. You want to help your friend, but really, there will come a time when your friend sees, "Hey, how are you?" When your friend sees that this energy that she's in is causing pain to those around her. Because right now it feels like she feels like, oh, this is self-contained, like it's just my marriage, like it's just me and this person, and because it's contained, it doesn't affect anybody else. It's for your buddy, where they're like, whoa, wait a minute. So my situation, my relationship here is actually having an effect on the lives of the people around me and how they interact with me and the decisions that I make. And from there, I do feel like your friend will find their strength and she will be able to start making more beneficial decisions towards her own growth, towards her own healing. But it will come from a particular situation that will finally get her to see things from a different perspective. So let's pull a card on it though. How are the kids, Miss Squirrel? And I like that she's hanging around for you too, because Miss Squirrel, she had the dad of her kids come by once before, but I think that she feels like he's a drain. So she made him go away and she's just kind of has raised the kids herself, which I know maybe in the animal world, people are like, oh, sometimes, the female animal always raises the kids themselves and the father just kind of takes off. But it felt like more conscious than that, where she was like, you don't really bring anything, to my happiness up here. So you can leave. And he left. And she was happy after that. She was just like, I'm just going to go back being Miss Squirrel and I'm going to raise my kids and I'm happy with that. And I don't need the gray squirrel, which like a little gray squirrel. She was like, I don't need you. Okay, so we have kitchen witchery here. Abundance flows easily and effortlessly into your life. Be in gratitude. So yeah, I feel like it'll be something that kind of blindsides her. It just kind of catches your friend off guard of like this epiphany of, whoa, this particular situation outside of the marriage has occurred because of the toxic marriage that I'm in. Wow. Now changes have to be made. I think your friend needs to see that it affects more than just herself. Um, and from there, I think then you would be able to step in and you could really start to help your friend from there because now your friend's going to be open to that change, to that healing energy. And who knows, from there, maybe some sort of healing could be done with the husband as well. Like maybe everybody just kind of works things out, but it will start with a catalyst. From that catalyst, bringing awareness and a new perspective. From that perspective, now being open. And from being open, now ready for those friends that she's surrounded with that are healers like yourself, ready to step in and say, hey, we're ready to help you. And that's going to be much appreciated by your buddy, your friend. So Dana says we can only help those who are open to help. Yes, which is why I feel like that situation, at least her higher self believes that situation does have to occur so that she can finally open herself to those people that are like, we've been waiting here. We've been waiting to help you this whole time. And I think that your friend is very fortunate to have somebody who is willing to help like yourself. So all right. Aurora says, I'm not the only one who thinks like this. A lot of others feel the same. Yeah. And all of you are going to be there waiting when she's ready. But it's when she's ready. Um, let's see. Oh, you guys been having some wonderful conversations. I love it. Okay, I think I got to everybody, I do believe. And I thank everybody who did super chats today, super stickers. I greatly appreciate it. I don't take you guys for granted. I really do appreciate being able to tap into your energies. I do think it's a very intimate and precious thing to be able to do and be allowed to do. So I thank you so much. I thank you guys for joining us and for doing our psychic ability practice sessions. I thank Aurora for volunteering to help out with that session. I think that was a lot of fun. I think that maybe we can incorporate something like that, maybe just like a little here and there during our live chats. I think this was fun. But yeah, let's get into our healing. Let's get into a guided meditation. And I'm going to tap in and see kind of where we want to take this guided meditation. Janine said, enjoyed this session. Fabulous. Yeah, dude, I love my Sundays with you guys. Like, I get so excited. I wake up and I'm like, I'm like looking at the time. Okay, I got this many hours until my live chat. Okay, so let's get into this. And then I'll bring some food out for Miss Squirrel after the chat. I think she needs her apple course. She loves my apple course. Okay, so let me tap in and see where we can direct this meditation. Oh, all right. Whoo. Okay. So this looks like it's gonna be a big one. um, let's see. Dana said, I'm so happy I got to pop on. Aurora Sotera, Jared Leto is live on Instagram. Well, I see you there. He's live on Instagram? Yeah, I'll try to pop on after this. I do have to let the phone charge up a little bit, but yeah, if he's still there when I get on there, perhaps I will see you. That would be cool. Okay. Um, okay, so the focus of this healing is going inwards to understand that sometimes when we don't know our purpose here on earth, sometimes when we don't know our path, when it's unclear, that just because things may be uncertain, unclear, maybe I just don't know what my purpose is yet, doesn't mean you don't have a purpose. Perhaps you growing into your purpose is the journey towards it. It's the uncertainty that you feel right now. It's the I don't know if I'm on the right path. I don't know if I'm making the right decisions. I don't know. And it's in those not knowings that you learn so much about yourself. And if you didn't go on this path of uncertainty, you wouldn't make it to the other side where it becomes a lot more clear on what your purpose is. Because oftentimes that's revealed to us in times where we are the most clueless, when we are the most like, ah, what is going on with my life? I don't know. Like, what am I here for? Um, and it's in those times when we're really open to seeing anything, any opportunity, and then we start to take them. Where if we were just focused, like, oh, okay, well, I think this is my purpose, so I'm going to ignore all other sorts of healing. I'm going to ignore, any other opportunities and things that come away because I am so laser focused on what my ego says my purpose is. So in some cases, I think it's even better when we don't know because eventually it morphs into something, kind of like when we're baking things. You're throwing all the ingredients in and people are looking at your bowl of mush and they're like, "What the heck is that?" And we don't know because all these things, all of our life experiences are just getting tossed in. Here's a little bit of sugar. Oop, here's a little bit of molasses. Here's a little bit of, baking powder and whatnot. And I don't know what the heck this is going to be. But then you pop it in the oven and it's a beautiful cake, or it's cookies, or it's muffins, or it's something sweet. But that's what it is. It's so sweet when we finally, it's all brought together and it makes so much sense. Like, oh, that's why this happened on my journey. That's why I had to go through this. That's why I had the dark night of the soul. That's why I had to lose this person or this thing, or that's why I had to go through this difficult experience. It was for the sweetness that's at the very end. And I don't mean end like the end of your life, but more like, okay, I'm ready for the next chapter. It's merely just the end of that chapter where it's like, okay, I get it. All right. So I'm going to keep doing this. And it's never super clear that purpose because they want you to keep adding those experiences, keep adding a little bit of here, a little bit of spice here, a little bit of cardamom, a little bit of allspice. So okay. So that's going to be our meditation, our guided meditation is going into being grateful for what we don't know about our life's path, being okay with not knowing our purpose yet, because we know that it's the journey that will reveal that purpose. And if we didn't go on this journey, we the purpose would just pass us by. We wouldn't recognize it because we never went on that journey. So, all right, are we ready? um, let's see, Craig. Oh, Craig's having a wonderful conversation with you guys. Susie Sarah says, Tara, I love that message. Needed to hear it. All right. And Susie, I'll message you later because I'm starting to remember other parts of the dream. But since it involved you and your brother, I figure I might as well share it with you. Or I was like, damn it, the live's already over. Hey, I'll see you guys next Sunday. And don't forget, we have that uh, September 11th video coming out tomorrow, September 11th. And then the one that you voted on, Michael Jackson, that'll come out next Monday. We were going to have it tomorrow, but since tomorrow is kind of, you know, there's a lot of emotions with tomorrow, we're doing a different channeling for that. So, um, oh, the Jared Leto's live is coming to an end. No, oh my gosh. Okay, so here we go. Get yourselves in a nice, comfortable space. You can be outside, you can be inside, you can be laying on the bed, sitting in a chair, sitting up against a tree, hanging out with your squirrel friend, just wherever you feel comfortable. And when you feel nice and cozy, go ahead and bring your awareness to your breath. Just focusing on the in and out. If there are any thoughts that try traveling through your mind, acknowledge them and come back to your breath. In and out. And continue breathing like this. If you need to, you can take your hand and place it right on your tummy or right on your diaphragm, wherever you feel that breath in and out. And now I want you to visualize. Visualize a path before you. This path can look however you wish. You can be out in the forest. It could be a physical paved road. Your visualization is for you and you alone. And I want you to walk along this path. And I want you to start tapping into the feelings that are coming up for you right now. Do you feel worried? Do you feel scared? Do you feel uncertain? Do you feel joy? Are you elated? Are you excited to see what's just over the crest, just down that road, that paved or sandy or grassy or rocky road? And if any of these emotions need further investigation, I want you to pause on that emotion. And I want you to call in the best traveler on this path, your higher self. Call he, she, it, whatever it may be, I want you to call it in. And I want you to take a good look at your traveling companion, the one who has no fear on this path, the one who's excited for the adventures and the misadventures, the one that's excited for your successes as well as your failures, the one that's excited for the connections and the disconnections, because all of them are shaping a beautiful, beautiful future for you. It is shaping that purpose. And so I want you to bring this emotion to your higher self. You can imagine this person walking alongside you and ask them, I'm feeling fill in the blank. Why? Why do I feel this way? How can you help me to overcome so that I can travel on, so that I can enjoy my journey? If along your road you see a boulder that has fallen down from the cliff and you feel discouraged, perhaps it's discouragement that you feel, and you stop and you tell your higher self, I feel discouraged. This boulder is in my path and I don't know what to do. I feel lost. Your higher self, in all of its eternal wisdom and knowledge of your past, present, future, looks at the boulder and smiles. Your higher self says, this boulder has come at just the right time. What are other things that we can do with boulders? Your ego may only say, it stops us. I don't know how to progress further. And this is where you let your higher self guide you on what to do next. Perhaps your higher self will show you that if we merely place a board under this boulder, you gain the strength of 100 humans and you easily move it out of your way with one simple thought. Or perhaps your higher self tells you, well, this is wonderful because now you can climb to the top of this boulder and gain a greater perspective than you could when you were on the ground. There are many things that your higher self may tell you, but I want you to listen. And so you take this information and you move forward, knowing that that boulder that you used to have in your path has now shaped your purpose, is another ingredient in the beautiful mixing bowl of your life. That everything that might seem scary at first or a roadblock at first is merely just a way to get you to see how much you shine, your own power, your own healing energy, and how worthy you are. But it's hard to see those things when everything is going well. But that doesn't mean that we don't learn when things are going well. There is much to learn in the light as there is to learn in the dark. And I want you to continue on walking in this path, hand in hand or arm in arm, or maybe even piggyback with your higher self. And allow whatever needs to come to stand before you. And whatever feeling comes up, I want you to talk about it with your higher self. Why you feel this way. Why is this coming up for you now? And when we can express these things, when we acknowledge these things, our future becomes that much more clear. Not clear as in I know ultimately where I'll end up, but more clear as to why certain things have offered themselves upon my path. And I show them gratitude instead of fear. I thank them instead of cursing them. I know that everything here is meant to help me, not hurt me. Continue breathing. You may maintain this visualization for as long as you wish, and you can come back to this path whenever you want. Your higher self is always with you, your eternal traveling companion with every roadmap imaginable. But when you feel ready, go ahead and bring your awareness back into your body, back into your breath. And go ahead and stretch and open your eyes. Oh my goodness. When you are ready. Alrighty, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me in the chat today. Um, Susie said, life is beautiful, and I honor the gratitude card you pulled, Tara, for the psychic exercise. Yes. Aurora said, OMG, Susie, that was one of 30 Seconds to Mars' new song, Life is Beautiful. There you go. And I agree, life is beautiful. 30 Seconds to Mars is not wrong. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who's participating. Thank you to all my lurkers and everybody who was commenting, to everybody who watches the replay, all of my subscribers. If you haven't already subscribed, please do consider subscribing. Thank you to my YouTube members, my patrons. I love each and every one of you. All right, have a beautiful rest of your day. Have an amazing week. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye, guys.